Four people now.
logistics are just hard to do. Yeah. They kind of really followed along with the millennials. They're like kind of like what do the millennials need now? They really did. Culture is making a comeback. Like the back to just ordered a really cute cooking grill off Amazon recently, so it's pretty handy and it's also habit. I got it on Amazon. Really fun. And I like that it grabbed this really heavy box down my hallway. Every time I got it up, I would see my name. I'm like, okay, now I kind of know it's yeah. Now every time I open the cabinet, it's like, thank you.
I invest popping bottles, putting supermodels in the cat.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Freya, COO of Daylit. On behalf of the entire team, let me say thank you for making it all the way here with us tonight, both here in person and also friends online, because we're live streaming this. Thank you so much. And also, special thanks to our friend, Alfredo, who has graciously opened up this gallery as our event venue tonight. So round of applause, please. And also, quick reminder, as our drinks flow, these beautiful paintings on the wall, unfortunately, are not included in our test tonight. So please admire generously, but also spill your drinks cautiously. Only spill them on the ones you're about to pay. Yeah, jokes aside, what brings us here tonight is not just because of friendship and also because of the shared passion of building new things. It's also because as business leaders, we share the same challenges and priorities. According to a survey conducted by Gartner that is called 2026 CFO Survey, actually CFOs are tasked with 3 priorities in the year to come. Number 1, cut cost considerably. Number 2, expand margins ruthlessly. And number 3, figure out AI. Try to accelerate AI's impact at work. So the first 2 sounds familiar, but the third, how about the third? Actually, 64% of the respondents say they're unconfident and unsure about what they're going to do to have meaningful AI outcomes at work. And they don't even know where to start. So hopefully, we're here tonight to bridge that gap and give you some of the possible answers. So here's how tonight is going to unfold. First of all, our co-founder and CEO, Jared, is going to talk about why accounts receivable specifically is such an imperative and how is it intertwined with the priorities mentioned before, and also share with you what we envision as the future of account receivables. And then our co-founder and CTO, Jerry, together with our team, Paul, Nibras, and Molly, are going to walk through a live demo with you featuring 3 protagonists and the problems they're facing, and also show you how Daylit can possibly help them out. So without further ado, Jared, please.
Thanks so much, everyone. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming out. Traversing the elements and making it out here, we really appreciate it. We're exceptionally excited to announce the launch of Receivables Intelligence. I'm really pleased to be able to announce this, but before I get into it, if you're part of the Daylit team, will you please raise your hand high up in the sky there? You're going to get a chance to meet some of the team, but there's a huge team behind them. They've been working tirelessly over the last 6 months, and so we're really proud of everything that they've done. Jerry's directing me over here. Oh, we're live on YouTube. Okay. But anyway, let's dive right in. We're here to talk about Receivables Intelligence, how AI is going to change accounts receivable. So let's give it a whirl, Victor. Seinfeld fans, maybe. Okay, thanks, Lex. Anyone can send an invoice. Okay, anyone can just flip out an invoice. Turns out it's not that hard. About 25 billion invoices are sent every single year. The challenge is you got to collect the invoice. Okay, you got to collect the invoice, and that's where the challenges come through. Okay, otherwise, as Jerry said, you're just sending it. You got to collect it, and it turns out that collecting an invoice isn't all that easy. We'll come back to that. 50% of invoices are paid late, and it causes huge challenges for businesses. It can strain relationships. It can strain the balance sheet, right? We don't have enough cash to go and pay for operations. And most annoyingly, it takes a lot of time to go and collect those invoices. So it's a huge issue. That's a live look at an AR specialist. If there's any AR specialists in there, you know how we feel. We try to diagnose why our invoices paid late. We spoke to our customers, we spoke to the market, and it turns out it comes down to just 2 issues. We can kind of bucket it into 2 issues. Excuses and money. Okay, customers either have excuses or they don't have money. And this is a huge problem for finance leaders because we have to staff an accounts receivable team to go and address all these excuses. We have to go and we have to grab or source capital to find the short gaps when our customers don't pay. And so it's a huge challenge. And unfortunately, it's a challenge that doesn't just naturally course correct. You have to look at the incentives of the accounts payable team, okay? They care, our buddy Milton, for Office Space fans out there, he cares more about accuracy than he does speed. Okay? No accounts payable specialist is ever going to get a promotion by paying for something super quick, right? We want it to be super accurate. And so the incentives aren't there to get us paid faster. And unfortunately, for accounts receivable teams, the payables process, these guys are only getting stronger. You can see the chiseled jawline. They're only getting stronger, and that's because of AI. These AI tools are surfacing these inaccuracies much more quickly, and it puts the onus back on the accounts receivable team. And so AR, accounts receivable, is already hard, and it's going to get a heck of a lot harder. But wait a second, hold on. Wait a second, you guys feel that? Okay, it doesn't have to. Okay, Daylit uses AI to predict and respond to these excuses, and we bring capital to address any of the cash flow shortfalls. How do we do that? Well, what if we gave the accounts receivable team the same AI tools that the accounts payable team has? What if we could supercharge them the same way that AP teams have been supercharged with AI? Wrong button. What if we could give CFOs a glimpse into the future? What if instead of reacting to accounts receivable issues, they were proactive and they started to understand what issues were going to surface before they even happened? What if money was never an issue on any of these invoices? Okay. What if anytime a customer was short to pay or a invoice was a little bit slow, we could factor it or we can inject capital right into the transaction? Daylit's mission is to make sure that every invoice is paid on time. Now, we have about 12.5 billion invoices to go, so we're just getting started. We've got the team to do it. And we believe that by using AI to predict and respond to these excuses and injecting capital to make sure that there's no such thing as a cash flow shortfall, we can get a heck of a lot closer. And so that's Daylit Receivables Intelligence. We're really excited to demo. This will be our agenda tonight, and so I'm about to call up my co-founder, Jerry Hsu, Nebras, Paul, Molly. We're really sure we have. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you, Jared. One more round of applause for Jared. All right, everyone, let's start this conversation by grounding ourselves in the reality of working on an AR team or a finance team today in 2025. Starting with our friend Charlie. Hey, Charlie. Charlie looks a little rough here, right? Charlie is a CFO under constant pressure. So much so that he often, he needs that in-office cigarette. Get it through the day, been there. His weeks are defined by manual work, scattered documentation, and the scramble to prepare for executive conversations. He's stitching together spreadsheets, system exports, and fragmented reports, just to explain how the business is predicted to perform. When the weekly AR meeting rolls around, Charlie is the one that everyone within the company looks to and turns to. The stress, it's constant. The business, they're exhausted. So my question is, Jerry and Nebras, how can receivables intelligence help Charlie move from manual effort to cash flow predictability?
For sure, we got Charlie's back, as always. And for that, I want you guys to imagine yourself in Charlie's shoes. Imagine you guys are the CFO, which a lot of you guys are here. As a CFO, your day is probably packed, managing risk, reviewing reports, making investment decisions, and spending calls, and coordinating with other executives and keeping the banks and the investors happy. But on top of all of that, 15% to 25% of your time is AR related. Where is my cash? Where is it stuck? Why did the system say one thing and this email say another? So instead of you trying to figure all of that out yourself through endless meetings and a lot of back and forths on Slack and different channels of communication, you can actually log into our portal, and on your dashboard, as Charlie, you can actually see an overview, a high level, accurate overview of all of your AR portfolio. So you can actually get to know in seconds what used to take you hours.
So Monday morning, the first thing for Charlie as a CFO is to understand what's going on in the portfolio. So beforehand, it will be a 2 to 3 hour AR meeting with your AR team. What Daylit offer is that now we can offer you a voice agent. We'll convert all the AR meeting essence into a 5 to 10 minutes podcast. Now, on the way driving to work Monday morning, Charlie can actually listen to the podcast, and by the time before even getting to work, stay on top of all the information he needs to know about his AR portfolio.
Now, one of the questions that Charlie might want to know the answer for is simple and straightforward. How healthy is my AR, and is it getting better or worse? And this is exactly what the Portfolio Health Index answers. It is a single score powered by a model that brings together for DSO, total AR, different agent buckets, and other quantitative but also qualitative pieces of data. So Charlie doesn't need to stitch all these together himself and can actually get one metric that tells him exactly how healthy his portfolio is and the health range it actually falls into. Now, in case the portfolio health index is not enough, which probably isn't, there is much more nuance to that, our portal actually surfaces urgent company signals, which are brought up to the CFO earlier before it's too late and before them turning into actual real problems. So as you can see here, we have 3 main signals. 2 of them are hard priority signals. One of them, if left unaddressed, would drop down the portfolio health index by 2 points. Charlie is no longer therefore drowning in noise and actually feels in control of what's happening. And not only that, but he's also fed with the high level, high quality, executive level signals he actually cares about. So the only thing he needs to do is click investigate and see what's happening.
Now, for the CFO, one thing most important to the CFO is to understand what's going on for all the clients. Who is the client that always pay on time, but today have a couple of late invoices? Who is the client that currently is under financial stress, where as a CFO, I may need to go and adjust their approval amount, credit approval amount? Or who is the client that probably is unhappy about our service, where as a CFO, I need to step in so that I can make sure the client doesn't leave us. With that, Daylit software actually offer a signal so that we can surface all these insights based on all the information from the email, CRM, and ERP systems. Moreover, we also provide a communication summary where you as the CFO will be able to see as an organization what's the current or latest communication your sales team, customer support team, or your AR team is having with the client. So all the information is surfaced to you, so by just taking a glimpse of look, you will stay on top of what's going on in your entire company. Now let's take a look at Apex solution. Seems like the signal suggests that there is some credit issue or financial stress in the client's company. Moreover, from the communication summary, the client's CFO actually acknowledged that during a sales call. So now let's take some action. So as a CFO at Charlie, I want my sales team to go in, just click more information so that I can take a further look. So all I need to do is just to go to the next step, the internal follow-up, and then assign the task to the sales team. That's how the job is done.
Thanks, guys. What Jerry and Nabrosh just showed us is that receivables intelligence isn't just giving CFOs like our friend Charlie here a map of their entire business. What it's doing is it is literally connecting the dots of every team and system of their company. That means that our friend Charlie here can look at any customer in his entire portfolio and know every perspective of that company. Daylit does this by getting data from the company's communication threads, emails, invoices, CRMs, taking all of that data, consolidating on an invoice and customer level. This then allows our agents to create clear summaries, remove any ambiguity around customers, and constantly track the health of our CFO's portfolios. This completely removes any miscommunications from word-of-mouth communications and provides clarity for CFOs, putting time back in their hands.
Yeah, that sounds great, Paul, but I do have another friend. All right, guys, everyone meet Doug. Being an AR manager, Doug is boots on the ground every day, guessing which accounts to prioritize and chasing down customer payments for days, weeks, or even months. His work is spread across systems, spreadsheets, email threads, and exported reports. Constantly, Doug is trying to corral the chaos. Nothing is centralized, nothing is intelligent. By the time the weekly AR meeting arrives, Doug and his team are drained. Everyone is still unclear in terms of what deserves attention. Jerry and Ross, another question for you all. How can receivables intelligence give Doug real time back and finally break the cycle of reactive manual collections work?
For sure, Molly. We got Doug's back, the same way we got Charlie's. So let's switch the table to the AR side. Today, Doug, our AR analyst, his day-to-day is very busy with a lot of manual work. He's constantly juggling operations, sales, collections, going between different Slack channels, digging through multiple email threads, and digging through buried invoices in his ERP system. All of that just to answer one question: what's going on with this invoice and what should I do next? Now, in a given week, Charlie or Doug has to do that on average about 80 times. So our model actually surfaces and constantly scans for all of these actions that need to be taken and rank them by priority, all here in the Action Center. So Doug can just log in, view all the actions, and see what is there for him on one day. Streaming down, shifting his job from days trying to figure out what needs to be done to a couple of minutes of figuring out what's going on here, clicking on an action, seeing the recommended action, whether it's a phone call script or an email generated template, and he can just review that and click send. Yeah. Now, for more context, Doug might want to learn more about that specific customer. And for that, he can just navigate to the customer's table and look at the communication summary for that specific customer. Now, if he wants to dig deeper into more details, he can actually view the communication and update timeline and audit trail for that specific customer. Every note, internal or external, every email, every Slack message that was related to that invoice, and every status change tied out to that invoice or customer is all here. So Doug could rest assured that this is indeed the ultimate source of truth, and the story behind each invoice.
The story of each invoice might come very handy, not only for the day-to-day, but especially at the moment of collecting back debts. Sometimes it's not like Doc does not want to work with a collection agency or with a lawyer, but the very fact that he needs to build a case for every single client collection, that just takes days for him. Now, with Daylit software, we actually pull everything under the communication summary, and with one-click export, Doc will be, or in this case, one-click, generate a collection packet and share with a lawyer or a collection agency. That will just make his life way easier. Speaking of making life easier, another question we constantly get out from our AR friends is that there are many reusable snippets they want us to surface. For example, what is the latest open accounts of a particular clients? What is the current approval amount for my credit line? What is the payment information? What's the vendor information? Every single time when the AR person gets asked that kind of question, they need to go to a different system and pull the latest. With Daylit software, we actually create these quick snippets. So in email, you can easily insert any information you need. And by rendering that information or rendering that snippets, this information come live, is pulled from different system and surface it into the email communication. Sometimes you will ask to make a call. So in that case, Daylit software also suggests a list of items you should go through with your customer. And when you're having a phone call, obviously we'll live transcribe it so you can easily share with your teammates. But moreover, these snippets will still be available during your call. So when the client asks you, hey, can you offer me a payment plan live? Then it's already at hand and you can explain that easily and communicate in a very clear manner.
About that, sounds like Doug should be happy. But seriously, if Charlie using Daylit was an enhancement, this is Doug running his AR team with superpowers. It uses all the same data that we saw, but now you see another layer deeper. It is not only giving summaries and insights, it is telling you the best recommended actions or drafting up emails, meaning Doug can go through hundreds of clients in a matter of minutes. It's almost like having a chess master looking over your shoulder, telling you every move. It detects patterns and personalities of their clients, meaning that we can say who they are, when they'll pay, and what methods of communications might actually work best for them. The longer the days of Doug guessing of what to do, how to respond, the agents now provide clarity, allowing him to speed up all of his work and save his company time and money.
Speaking of money, one more friend to introduce to you all. This is my friend Gordon, VP of Finance. He's been complaining about money constantly. He's feeling the pressure because cash gaps, they appear out of nowhere in today's age. Leadership asks why customers are paying late, and his team, they can't seem to explain it. Payment behavior is unpredictable. Risk is hidden, and teams just can't get a unified synergy. Jerry Nabros, how does receivables intelligence give leaders like Gordon visibility and options when it matters most?
Jerry?
All right. As the VP of Finance, most important thing, or one of the most important job, is to make sure the company has enough cash so the company can be afloat. During the time of making payments, making salary, making rents, there's enough cash in the bank. However, this is a very tedious job. One thing that as VP of Finance constantly to do is look at all the historical promise to pay as well as previous payment patterns to predict which invoice will get paid when. With the Daylit software, we actually automatically extract all these promises and also analyze payment patterns and surface the 13-week cash flow prediction for the VP of Finances. With that, one big issue is, well, days are not always going great. There will be weeks or days that the company just won't have enough collection to be liquid. So in that case, it's actually super easy on the daily software to go to your invoice tab, look for an invoice that you want to sell, which Daylit is happy to factor. Click that factor invoice button, and just like that, we will be able to, as Daylit, factor the invoice on behalf of the client. So the client will get the cash, that is happy, company keep getting float, and make the on-time payments. Also, sometimes it might not be enough. Selling one invoice or two is not enough for the company. Well, there is another solution. On the customer page, they also offer another financial solution called offer terms. So the offer terms works as in, hey, your client, you're offering their 30-day term, but they are asking for 90-day, 180-day term, sometimes 364 days, less than a year, right? So with offer terms, Daylit can actually make sure you get paid today while your customer can choose whichever term they are willing to take. So that's how we're helping on the financing side.
Wow. So what Jerry just showed is that receivables intelligence doesn't just present the problem, it's the solution. It allows our customers to use the insights, predictions, and accessible capital to fund when they need it. Offer terms allows our customers to extend terms to their clients or increase payment plans without affecting their balance sheets. Fund Now allows our customers to maintain liquidity in case of customers not paying and without affecting business operations. When we put everything together, receivables intelligence stops sounding like any regular business tool. Daylit is proactive. Daylit is automation. Daylit is funds when you need it now. Daylit is the business accelerator every business needs right now.
No, but seriously, everyone, thank you so much here for coming out tonight amidst the crummy weather. We really appreciate that. Here on the Daylit team, we are so excited to go to market with receivables intelligence. Let's not end the conversation here. Any questions? Daylit members, raise your hand again. Come up to our team, come up to us. We'd love to have a conversation, and thank you again. Open bar over.
That sounded really good. Thank you. That sounded really good.